Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm your host, Preston M. Smith. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm Preston M. Smith, at PMS Artwork everywhere on internet land and socials. I want to thank you for landing on this podcast. Whether you're a professional artist, just getting started in the art world, a collector of art, or just consider yourself a creative person, this podcast has something for you. I like to think of it as a fun way to rant and talk to other creative people about living the life of an artist, surviving and getting ahead in the art world, and enjoying your life. But most importantly, not waiting until you're dead to make it happen. All right, let's get started.
This episode is brought to you by Stouffer's. Here comes three-time juggling champion Natalia Rogers. She's juggling law school, her TA job. Oh, narrowly catches the laundry. What's that fourth ball? Parents unexpectedly showed up at dinner time? Is that too much for Natalia? Not with Stouffer's Chicken Alfredo and its mouth-watering mix of Asiago, Romano, and Parmesan. When you're juggling four things at once and the clock strikes dinner, think Stouffer's.
I did it my way. Settle up. Wait, what? Whatever. Just do it. I give up.
You're not for the matchup.
Oh, and I did it my way, too. Enjoy, Melon Farmers.
You've had a lot of videos go viral as well as images, correct?
Yes.
That's amazing. So I was kind of poking around your YouTube channel the other day in preparation for this. And first of all, I love all your work, and the videos
Thank
are
you.
great, creative, interesting, fun. I saw, I first got hooked in with I think it's your most recent one, the Roller Girl, right?
Right. Yeah, I did that 2 weeks ago.
Amazing. Did you have to, first of all, I got a couple questions. First of all, I'm assuming you waited until kind of the quarantine was lifted a bit to get out there? Or sub question, is it better now to go out there because nobody's out there? Well,
so I've always been kind of reckless. I'm very, like you said, you met me. I'm very calm and I'm easy to. I think my first impression is like I'm like a ninja. I can hide in the shadows and people won't notice me. You know what I mean? But on the inside,
Right.
like I'm very kind of plain on the outside and chill and quiet. But on the inside, I'm definitely a punk.
Awesome.
And I'm missing like the fear chip that makes you afraid of things. So I'm just not really, to a certain degree, obviously, of safety, but I'm not really scared of a lot of things. And so before the roller skating, I mean, I went out with a model all over LA during quarantine, and we shot at 10 iconic locations. I was like, wait,
Nice.
you mean everybody's at home? Well, I'm going everywhere that would be difficult to do a naked body paint shoot in public, and so we went to like the Hollywood sign, went to the Chinese Theater, we went to the Museum of Contemporary Art, went to the Broad, we went to Staples Center, we went to all these places, Rodeo Drive right in the center of it. Like I was like, I'm just going to capitalize on this, and I didn't care.
Yeah,
I've been out every day. I've been out every day since quarantine started. Either like we just moved, and so I've been to Home Depot every day, and otherwise, if I'm making art, nothing's stopping me.
Nice.
I'm going to do it. I don't care if I die.
Isn't that funny that it's like they had all of the what was it called? It wasn't mandatory services, whatever they deemed to be appropriate to stay open. I love how like Home Depot. So it's like we can't shut down Home Depot, everybody.
I mean, it's definitely necessary.
It is necessary. Hey, I've done a lot of home improvements, and I also get a lot of art material there.
Yeah, but actually, so this roller skating one, it's funny actually getting art material there. I'm always at Home Depot trying to get stuff to create some prop you know?
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, what are you trying to make? And it's like, the truth is stranger than fiction. So I have to like come up with like a more believable.
I'm making a shed.
I'm making a skull that turns into a rainbow dragon vomit. and you know, and then they like look at you like you're crazy. So
yeah, this other guy in line's like, yeah, me too.
What are you trying to make? I'm actually just looking for this piece that's shaped like this and does this. I don't know if it exists, but maybe you have something that kind of, you know, and it's just getting creative, MacGyvering stuff.
I love it, man.
But with the roller girl, what I had to wait for, she was definitely concerned with going out in public. So one of the disadvantages of quarantine was some models didn't want to paint yet. You know, they were scared. And I had a few that were gung ho like me, and we went out and did it. But so she was, things started to ease up. So I asked her if she wanted to paint, and we've been wanting to do this roller skate thing for like 2 or 3 years, and we just never got around to it. So I was like, let's just do it. Let's just do the roller skate thing, get it over with. And so we just had fun and did that, and came out great.
So your book, when was this released? What was the kind of the impetus for doing the book, and anything you want to say about it?
Sure. Well, as I said, I started in Old Town Alexandria, had a studio there, and we lived for 3 years. That's a record for us. And then we were like,
really put down your roots, huh?
Yeah, right. And but it was a lot of fun. We loved it. And then we decided to move out west again, and to another historic area, South Pasadena.
Yes,
we just and we moved around at that same time. Right when we left, I decided I'm going to start my Historic Preservation Award and give out an award, which is an original painting of someone who's taken an old wreck and made it into something beautiful, restored it. So cool. And I would give that, and I would have events along the way when we traveled out west. And that's what we did. We had 5 different events in a week, 10 days on the way back, on going out to the West Coast. So
can I ask you just technically, how did you put these events together?
Well, you see, when I was doing, 25, 30 years on nonprofit world, well, if you're going to make money in the nonprofit world and get your message across, because often it's issues that are very important, like human rights and so forth, you have to really understand public relations and marketing. Yes. So I had all those years of experience from that. And so holding events, and I'm talking from huge concerts and marathons across Europe to smaller little events to press conferences, I've done it all. So,
cool.
Right? So
what great training.
Yeah, it really was. It was like on the ground training. And so I had all that experience. So for me, doing these little events, setting it up, finding the person, I would set it up and I always involve the local historic group or some other neighborhood group or the city at times. But I always find myself partners because I don't have time. I don't know anyone there. Right. They're the ones who have to get people there. They're the ones. I nearly always get the mayor or someone from the city and get some media. So I'd really create a message, and that was my goal. So anyway, as I left the East Coast.
That's cool. I was wondering, it's not just like you show up and people are there, No,
that doesn't happen that way. So, and then, that's how we did it. And we do it at the home or at the place or wherever it was. That was, the awardee. And then there'd always be a reception. People would tour. That would always be something people would love to do, right? Yeah. So as I was doing that, I said to my husband, Bruce, like, you know what, we should, I suddenly had this goal because I knew I loved doing this thing and I love traveling and I love meeting people and seeing all the history and the homes and the architecture. I said, I'm going to do homes and historic buildings in all 50 states across America. And
yes.
He's pretty adventurous himself, but he looked at me with right. I said, no, you can do it. I can do it. I'm going to do that. That's what I'm going to do. I said, I don't know anyone else has done that. So why don't I do it?
No.
And, we'd also found by that point, we'd found ways to keep the whole, with the note cards and our promotions and the online promotion through SEO and then our email campaign. We've managed to keep all that going so we could now move around. I could move around and do my art. You see what I mean? It didn't affect that. They're not cute things generally. So I didn't have to take my studio with me, so to speak. I just what I needed. So I could keep it all going. And
that's very freeing. First of all, I just want to jump in because I know a lot of artists, me personally even, we're so tied down to our studios over there. You've got a huge studio of large paintings or whatever you're doing, sculpture, and it's hard to be mobile. So I think that's very cool and very freeing as an artist that you're able to do that.
What voice are you hearing?
I am hearing Miss X. We should do half the interview as Miss X.
I'm fine with that.
This is so crazy. I love it.
I might have to just say sound.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm getting feedback. I'm having technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties, yeah. But I want to get into the Daniel Hustwith origin story. So tell us a little bit about your origins and how that kind of developed into art, like when you started art in that process.
Yeah, well, I'm lucky. I'm 58 years old, and I've been a criminal defense attorney here in Los Angeles for the last 30 plus years.
Oh, wow.
Since 1992.
1992. Wow.
And so it's been 32 years. And so for me, I don't have to rely on art in any way to bring in even a penny.
Yeah.
And that makes me lucky and it makes my art much more fun to create. But I mean, when I was still
there's freedom with that, right?
It allows me to separate art from business completely.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about what's going to sell, what's not going to sell. Should I paint this if it's going to sell? Should I not? I don't have to have that worry at all.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just
speaking into the void?
But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Oh,
yeah. You don't have to have that worry yet.
I started at UCLA.
If the machine gets behind you, Daniel, they're going to start trying to control what you create, though.
I would love any machine. I welcome any machine getting behind. That would be phenomenal.
Machine. Okay, sorry, but I interrupted you.
No, so I was just saying before I went to law school, I went to UCLA, and there I was doing political cartoons and comic strips.
Oh, cool! I didn't know that.
I was drawing portraits of family members before that in high school and before. My high school, which was in Connecticut, it's one of the great, I think, high schools anywhere. It's called Norwich Free Academy, NFA.
Mm-hmm.
You have a museum on the campus, the Slater Museum. Inside this museum is every cast of original plaster casts from the originals, first generation from the 1800s of Greek and Roman antique sculpture.
Oh, really?
So I got to hang out in my senior year of high school. I was I guess not a guard, not even a docent, but I got to have my class, just my senior study class, sitting in the museum sketching all of these sculptures.
Oh, man.
And it was the most tremendous. I mean, so I've really enjoyed I've always had a deep love for art, and I've always been drawing and sketching, but the reality had to set in sometime, and I had to make a living because I knew that art wouldn't give me the kind of lifestyle that I would hope that I want. But now, after, working for 3 decades, my wife still is a lawyer. My wife is an immigration attorney, one of the top in LA.
Oh, wow.
Now I get to focus on just my art all the time, what direction it's going. I read art reviews. My favorite is the Manhattan Art Review.
Uh-huh.
Sean Tatal, the Critics Corner. He's tremendous.
Yeah.
Links to all the galleries in Manhattan. So I get to really get exposed to the West Coast and the East Coast. And I'm telling you, the East Coast right now, I think, sucks. We're way cooler here on the West Coast. And
I'm nodding. You can't see this if you're listening, but I'm nodding.
Our art is just way more cutting edge. It's real.
It flipped because that has not been the case throughout American art history.
Right. But you can check it yourselves. Go into, go check out every single, and you can go online and see them, but go look at every new show. And it's like they're all carbon copies of the next. It's almost like there's no passion anymore.
It parallels what you're seeing on social media. It's like, what can I immediately get out there that's easily digestible by the general populace, right?
And that's why, when you say digestible, that's really what diarealism is kind of about. It's, art as food, but we're not hungry for art. So we're hungry for entertainment. And that's really, so my paintings kind of always try to portray the tension between art and entertainment. Artists are not entertainers, but many of them now try to be entertainers to make their show more entertaining. So they'll have a band playing in their show, or a poetry reading, or it's always something else. And so I try to show the tension between entertainment and art, and how entertainment is kind of swallowing up art, because there's the piece of the pie for true art is smaller and smaller and smaller.
He was not afraid to be a trendsetter. He was not afraid to follow his own path, and he was not afraid to change his course when he realized he needed to or he wanted to. He was not bound by anything. And that's kind of what I'm talking about right now, is just having the boldness and audacity to forge your own path and to be the artist that you truly want to be. And you know what? If certain opportunities are available to other artists and they're not available to you, make your own opportunities. I know I've done that many times in my own life, and those things will come around. If you really give it like a 20, 30, 40 year span, like lifespan of being an artist, each person is going to find some success at different times or different points on that timeline. So seeing somebody else succeed a little bit faster than you should not be discouraging. It should just be like, well, good for them. Mine's coming down the road, or mine's coming tomorrow, or whatever, 5 years from now. And just keep doing what you're doing, keep honing your craft, and keep figuring out what works for you. But definitely do not be too persuaded by the one size fits all approach, or the one true guide to success by fill in the blank guru over here. And again, try out a lot of coaches and gurus and find out, just pick and choose little pieces. Take little bits from here, take little bits from this philosophy, take little bits from this kind of approach, and apply those to your life, and then construct your own little amalgamation of all those, and, become your own person, become your own artist that forges a new path, a new exciting path that everybody else will be trying to follow.
No. I won't do it. Go ahead. Try me. That's right. Mumford cannot be bought, sold, rented, or financed even. In true episode form, I will do it my way. And my way is to end this podcast on a high note. And that high note is Mumford. That's right, everybody. We'll see you next time. I think I am performing Mumford.
This has been the Living Artist Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I just want you to know that I appreciate you being here, and I'm grateful to be in your ears. Your art and creative life on this planet is meaningful, so thank you for sharing it with me. If you like this podcast, whatever platform you're listening to it on, please subscribe and share it with your friends. You can also leave me a positive review to show your support. This helps me to reach more people with the algorithmic magic and keep the show going strong. If you want to see more of what I do and check out the art that I create, you can visit my website at www.pmsartwork.com or follow me on social media everywhere at PMS Artwork. That's it for now. See you back here next time.